Hi everybody, welcome to the workshop. This is a bit of a work in progress update video. I finished a couple of bibby knives in SF100 stainless steel. I'm very happy with how they've come out. I've got classics, again these are in 3mm SF100 stainless, and I've got some camp knives to build up. They've all been ground, just waiting for the scales to be fitted. So there, yeah, 3 of them, and they've all come out really well. These are in 01. I've got one here with the scales fitted, just got to shape these. The reason why I'm making the video actually is because I came in the workshop this morning, turned on my dust mask, and the battery was flat, so that's gone into the charger. And so I thought to myself, I'll gainfully employ myself, I'll clean the workshop, I'll give it a bit of a de-dusting, and I thought, yeah, I'll do a quick update video, let people know what's happening in the workshop, in the Jacklore workshop. So before I get onto the knives, just the grinders. I've had a bit of a running repair on the Downland Maxi grinder. After about 7 years of continual hard work, the gas ram and the tracking wheel became sort of quite severely worn, to the point where the grinder was becoming a bit problematic to use. So quick phone call to Alistair from Downland, and he was able to manufacture the parts and get me the spare parts for my grinder in 2 days. So thanks to Alistair. This grinder is probably my hardest working grinder because I use it for all my wood handle shaping, and it's just it's done a hell of a lot of work. I've got another one at the back here, which is the first grinder I had off of Alistair, and this one doesn't get as much use now because this has got a faster output speed. The gearing, for want of a better word, the pulley on the motor, it allows the machine to run faster. So this is the one I use for my handle shaping. I've also got another grinder, an MP custom grinder through there, which is a superb machine, and I use that for all my metal work shaping and all my bevel grinding and tapered tangs, etc. So anyway, on to the knives. Finished off 2 bibbies, I think. Let's get my hands clean. I've a lot of dust in here just recently. These I've already, I'm afraid, got homes to go to. Before I move on, I get a lot of comments from people saying they're lovely knives. I've given up trying to get one. I think people don't realise that I'm really just a cottage industry, a one-man band. My output is rather low, maybe 2 knives a week, sometimes less than that, sometimes maybe just 2.5 knives. You know, the output's very low. I'm getting about 2,000 unique website hits a week, so the chances of anyone getting one is low, and there's nothing I can do about that. I can't increase my output. But when someone leaves a comment and they say, "Oh, I've given up trying to get one," basically it tells me that a comment can tell you a lot about a person. That tells me that the person is defeatist. They're a quitter, basically. It sounds a bit harsh, doesn't it? But you know, you don't get anywhere in life if you quit. If you want to get one of my knives and you've just given up, then the slim chance you had of getting one has gone from being a slim chance to being no chance at all. So you know, take from that what you want. But life has thrown in, as I think it does to everybody, but in me over the years, life has thrown a tremendous amount of challenges, physical, mental challenges, and you know, you can't get through stuff. You can't succeed if you quit. You know, and one point which comes to mind is when I was walking the Wainwright coast to coast, which is a route which takes you from the Irish Sea to the North Sea. 200 miles, and I hiked it a couple of years, or 3 years ago now, maybe 4 years ago actually, and my feet were terribly blistered, and there were times I felt like I couldn't continue, but I said to myself that so long as I keep putting one foot in front of the next, even if it's only one little step, I hadn't quit. And with that mentality and that approach, I got through to the end of that journey. And I like these sort of challenges, you know. I like taking on challenges and succeeding, and I like putting myself under some kind of a pressure, you know, which can test your mettle. And so far, everything that I've turned my hand to, I've succeeded. I've never quitted, you know. I've been running this business. I started up knife making as a hobby, then full-time. I've been full-time at it 10 years now, and before that I was a hobby knife maker for a couple of years. And I went into this business at one of the worst times in recent history, with the way that the economy was and still is, and seems to be going. And there was times, especially in the early years, when it was incredibly difficult because I didn't have the skill set, I didn't have the machinery, I didn't have the knowledge, and I had to go along and accrue and build up these things. And if I quit, you know, I just simply wouldn't be where I am making my knives now. So there, yeah, you can tell a lot about a person by the comments they leave. Anyway, that aside, let's look at these two bibby knives. Now, James sent me the wood. He sent me a nice block of elm wood, so I was able to cut the elm into blocks, and then I stabilised it, and it came out really well. So James, in a way, was also instrumental in the design of the bibby knife. The bibby knife is named after a good friend of mine, Paul Bibby, and Paul had some ideas about the knife dimensions and sizes too, but so did James, because he asked me to build a sheath for a knife that he had, and I took a look at that knife, and I was able to take some dimensions from it, and I thought, yeah, it was a nice sized knife, you know, and so I done a few subtle changes to make my knife design not an exact copy of the knife that James had, and then also with a bit of input from Paul Bibby, we came up with the Bibby Bushcrafter, which I think is my personal favourite little knife. It's just such a nice, well proportioned, dimensioned knife. If you've got super large chunky hands, maybe oh, I don't know, it's got a long enough handle. Anyway, it's a very personal thing about how a knife handle fits in your hand. So this one's going to James. Usual sort of format, dangler. This is a right hand sheath with stabilised elm. And these knives are all in SF100. I'm just going to give them a bit of a clean up. They've got a bit of oil on them. So let's get the camera to focus. So this is the bibby that I've built for James. This one's got the stabilised elm with a few pins and sort of burrs at the front there. It's quite a nice little knife, that. I like the handle shape on it, and I like the whole shape of the knife. As you can see, the handle is plenty long enough. I got fairly large hands. Hang on, let's see if I can alter the camera to get a better setting. Try and artistically blur the background in it. So there you go. Trying to give you a hand dimension so you can see for yourselves. There, can you see that? So that'll give you some idea of the handle length. Plenty of room. So that's the bibby that I've got for James. The other one, another chap has emailed me with an interest of buying it. Similar sheath, except this has got red stitching, red thread, dangler with the logo on the back. And this one hasn't, the scales are perhaps slightly plainer, but still, let's get that blade cleaned up again. Still, I think very pretty. I'm surprised. I've not used a lot of elm over the years, and I'm really quite impressed with how it's come out. Thick, dark red G10 liners on this one. Beautiful wood, really is nice. So quite pleased with how these bibbies have come out. And as I say, SF100 stainless steel, 59 HRC, so no need to worry about rusting or staining. Although I do gather that stainless can stain, it just stains a bit less. It stains a lot less than normal carbon steels. The other good thing about the SF100 is that the properties allow it to be easily sharpenable. So it's not like some stainlesses which are really hard to sharpen. This is a knife which is fairly easy to maintain and keep a good sharp edge on it. So those are the two knives. Hopefully now my battery for my respirator has charged up, and that'll allow me to shape the handle on this camp knife. This has been sold to a chap called Kevin, who sent me the wood also. So I'm going to crack on with this now. So there you see that knife now, and I'll bring you back a little later on today when I've finished it, and then you'll be able to see what this knife looks like. Well, a few hours later, and I've got a finished camp knife. Let's just bring you in for a closer look at that camp knife. This is red mallee burl wood. It's difficult wood. It's Australian hardwood, and it's one of the hardest. Well, it's full of fissures and all sorts of funny things going on. So I spent ages sanding it and then filling it and sanding it and filling it to get to the finish where I'm at with it now. So that's a camp knife. This is built up for Kev, who sent me the wood. He lives locally and not far away from me. I'm not sure if you can see it. I'm going to just up the camera setting so you can see the shadow details better. I don't know if that shows the shadows anymore. The wood. Taper tang on this one, black G10 liners, quad mosaic pins and an 01 blade. This is part of a two knife build for Kev actually. I'll just show you the other knife that he wanted. So the other knife is a neck knife, sort of hornet, a hornet. Again, Kev sent the wood. It's some kind of a burl. I'm not sure what the burl is. The blade is SF100 stainless. So it's got the quad mosaics, black G10 liners. So there are Kev's two knives. I've just got to build the sheath for the for the camp knife. Yeah, the mallee bill took me probably twice as long to finish because of the sort of the way the wood is. It's very hard wood, and as I had to spend ages filling little tiny cracks, hairline sort of cracks in it, and now it's pretty good. So hopefully Kev will be happy with that. So anyway, just on the parting note, there was a channel I used to watch on YouTube, MCQ Bushcraft. Now Mike, he had a fantastic channel, and he kind of shut it down, or he froze the channel. I think he got hacked. Anyway, he froze the channel, and at one point he had, I think, 250 to 300,000 subscribers. And Mike is a really nice kiddie, and he's totally natural. He's the real deal, and I'm sure that had he continued on his path, he would have been a mega channel by now. Really big channel. And there are some big channels out there. Some I think are deserving of having that subscriber base. Some I'm afraid I don't think are deserving. I'm just going to turn the camera settings back a bit. And so anyway, I thought I'd give him a shout out because I think he's trying to build himself up again. And it's unlikely that some of these big channels are going to shout him out. He deserves it, I'll tell you. But he's got a new YouTube channel, and I think he's trying to build his channel up. I might be wrong. I know Mike occasionally watches my videos, so if you're watching, Mike, best of luck to you. I mean, when someone puts something on YouTube, we all want our videos to be seen. We all want to get the likes and the subscribers, and I can just assume that Mike is trying to build his channel up again. So he's got a new YouTube channel. He's called Workshop and Wilderness Adventures, and he's based in Sweden. He's really an entertaining and worthwhile channel to watch. Some of the videos are about his workshop and the things that he's done to his Jeep, his 4x4 off-road vehicle, which aren't my cup of tea, but I still find them entertaining to watch. And some of the videos are about his camping, his wilderness adventures. He's got his 4x4 all kitted out for wilderness camping. He's got all the equipment you can imagine, and he's going into some fantastic areas. And Mike is such a knowledgeable person, and I think he'll do well because he's that sort of a person. He puts himself across so well, and I think that, you know, he's going to be a big channel again. So I just want to give him a shout out and push it out there to anyone that watches my channel to go and have a look at Workshop Wilderness and Survival, and I'll put a link in the description box to Mike's channel, and no doubt he could benefit from a bit of extra money coming in. He's got a family now, so if he gets his channel up again and he gets an extra source, an extra stream of income coming in from that, then all fair, I think. And he was, as I say, he was one of the best for a young chap who really knows his stuff. He's one of the best channels that I watched over the years on YouTube. Anyway, that's it from me. I might start doing a weekly or a fortnightly update video just to update people on where I'm at with the knife making. I am on a bit of a go slow. When it gets really hot, I don't tend to work in here because it gets too hot, and we've got a heat wave coming again beginning of next week, so I should probably not do much work in here. I've also got a repetitive strain injury in both my elbows. I think it's from all the sanding and the manual work over the years of making these knives that my elbows are beginning to suffer, and so there comes a point when I just got to stop. So my output is low. My output is always going to remain low. I'm going to be producing anywhere from 1 to 3 knives a week, and there's a lot of people chasing those knives, and so, you know, if you want one, and you've got to be lucky to get one, unfortunately. There's only me. It's only a small cottage industry. I'm in my shed basically. Well, a bit bigger than a shed, but it's only a small little workshop with fairly basic tools, and my output is low. Everything is very manual, hands-on. So it does take an age to do these things. So anyway, thanks for watching, and may see you next week on another update video. Bye for now.